Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Open Baskets. And today we're going to discuss some upcoming news on African progress in IT aspects of decolonizing mind, trying to decolonize the mind of African context. So let's start. So let's start off with the news coming out of um, Africa. It's actually some news that is said to be rolling out in the Americas, USA, and even South Africa and Europe. There's a young Nigerian guy called Frederick Akponyenye. I don't know if I said the name correctly. I think I did wrong. But yeah, Frederick has made the Black community in Africa proud by setting up a firm called Jago Technologies Inc. and considered the first Black-owned company which is into manufacturing of self-driven pods. And if you guys don't know what self-driven pods are, it's pods that are self-driven without any human beings driving the car. It's a new technology. I will put up some pictures on that pod and how it will look like. So Frederick said that Jago is here to give entrepreneurs the space to compete and to give service providers the mobility to serve without the burden of large fixed costs like rent. And this will also lead to more money flowing into our communities as opposed to it flowing outwards to large corporations, because we are just as tired of that than everyone else is. And I think it's a very smart idea for him to start doing things within the Black communities in Americas and Europe and Africa. Because first of the things that we spoke about many times is the economics and the power in the dollar and the power in the means of production. Hence the reason why I am always trying to promote poweronomics and group economics, and I think this is a part of that Frederick wants to do. This Nigerian young entrepreneur is also explaining how the products work. The company said also when the pods arrive at a location, it waits outside the house, porch, wherever you live, and sends a push notification alerting the customer that the delivery or service provider has arrived, typically within an hour or less. This is revolutionary. I think this is very, very revolutionary in many aspects. I think this is also going to, inspire others to do the same. To take technology into its hands and try to develop something that will make it easier for human beings to exist on this earth. And I think technology can be that hand into making things much easier for us as human beings, while also defeating a lot of other obstacles in our lives. Like for instance, combating anthropogenic weather climate changes through the use of technology. We've seen many examples of many different technologies or techniques to capture as much CO2 in the air as we can, and we have seen many of these technologies actually working and working for us as human beings and for our advantage. So that's why I think it's very good for us to use the technology not to destruct or not to destroy things, but to build and rebuild things, and make it easier for people to, transport themselves, etc. It's better for the infrastructure, and it's also uh, giving grounds for competitiveness within the Black community, which is good. We need it. It's time for it. And what the firm also added uh, was that our goal is to reduce, and this time by increasing the numbers of vehicles on the road. Only Jago verified users have access to the pods. The product itself has already been rolled out in the US and spreading across Europe. Hopefully, I will see it myself. I haven't seen anything on this, but hopefully, I will very soon. The manufacturer also has equally entered the South African market with hopes uh, to spread across the continent of Africa as well. And as we know, South Africa is one of those countries that has the best infrastructure in Africa, and hence the reason why I think it's a little bit easier rolling it out in that context. Jago itself also that technology, Jago Technologies Inc. is also based in Miami, Florida, and that's where and this entrepreneur is based, is in Miami, Florida. The founder of the Miami-based firm is known to have incredible interest in tech industry. He has also more than 15 years of experience in tech development and software engineering, which is very good for many people to to read more about, to get to understand, and to also getting more involved in the progress of African technologies. And that's all I have to say about that news topic. What we're also going to discuss today is two other things here, which is economics and trying to also decolonize the mind um, of Africans. Um, so first, I will just go back here and just read a little short section of the book, Black Africa and Economics, the Economic and Cultural Basis of Federal States. This was written by Sheikh Anta Diop, a very famous scholar, African-based scholar, and something that we can learn from many times. As we can see here in the actual um, pretext of this book, it says here that the solution has already been articulated by its best thinkers many times, and hence the reason why I am also recommending this book to start off with, to understand economics and cultural basis for federal states. And the book itself is that the book itself is the best expresses by Diop political aims and objectives. In it, he argues that the only that only a united and federated African state will be able to overcome underdevelopment. This critical work constitutes a rational study of not only Africa's cultural, historical, and geographic unity, but also of Africa's potential for energy development and industrialization. Diop also argues for the need to build a capable continental army able to defend the continent and its people. And purposes gives us a purpose, a plan for the development of an African raw mineral and industrialization in that section of the economy. All these factors combined based on the formation of federated and unified Africa, culturally and otherwise, um, are surmised to be the only way for Africans to become the power in the world that she or he should rightfully be. Although it was written in the 1974, many of the solutions presented in this are yet to be realized and very valid as well. This book also serves as a fresh reminder to early 21st century readers that many of the energy ideas, economic ideas, political ideas are not new. These things has been here for many years for us to read, understand, and to also, use in practical terms. They are also just being rehatched. So these ideas are being rehatched again. And I think it's very important for it to be rehatched so that our future generations can understand that they also have a place to, develop their um, economic capabilities and political strength and understanding of global democracy and global politics. And when it comes to everything that is involving human endeavors. It's interestingly in 1962, Diop's political party working on the ideas in Black Africa. The economic and cultural basis for federal states became a serious threat to the regime of the president Leopold Senghor. Diop was also subsequently arrested and also thrown in jail, where he nearly died. The party was also shortly thereafter banned for opposing Senghor efforts to consolidate power in his own hands. There's a reason why we are not taught about our potential for development properly. I also recommend research on these people that I'm going to say. Some of them you will already know about, but I recommend Kwame Nkrumah, Nyumbe, Patrice Lumumba, Gamal Abdul Nasir, Amilcar Cabral, Bob Marley as well as a musician, Steve Biko from South Africa, uh, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, Ahmed Sekou Toure is his real name, Sheikh Anta Diop, Thomas Sankara, Marcus Garvey, and many more. Many, many, many more. Many of these people, I recommend you guys do some research on these people and their work on Pan Africanism in order for you to understand the purpose of N1P podcast and the open basket. We're also going to discuss a little bit about uh, the book that was written uh, written by Ngugi wa Tugi or Tiogo, Ngugi wa Tiogo, where he's talking about decolonizing the mind and the politics of language in African literature. And I'll directly jump over to some of the introductions here. And countries and people of Latin America, Africa, Asia, Polynesia is today protected by conventional and nuclear weapons, imperialism led by the United States of America and the West presents the struggling people of the earth and all those calling for peace, democracy, and socialism with the ultimatum to accept death or death. The oppressed and the exploited of the earth maintained their defiance liberty for or from theft. But the biggest weapon wielded and actually daily unleashed by imperialism against collective defiance is the cultural bomb. The cultural bomb. The effect of cultural bomb is the um, the taking away of people of belief in their names and in their languages and in their environment and in their heritage of the struggle, in their unity, in their capacity, and ultimately in themselves. It makes them see their past as one big wasteland of non achievements. But we can achieve so much as Africans. Just if we take our time and read our history and read about these people, as I said before, and understanding that we actually are a part of the whole and we are a part of that great change that we want to see on earth. And also, it makes them want to distance themselves from that wasteland. It makes them want to identify with which is furthest removed from themselves. For instance, with other people's languages rather than their own language. It makes them identify with that which is dissent and reactionary. All those forces which would stop their own spring of life. It even plants serious doubts about the moral rightness of the struggle. Possibilities of triumph or victory are seen as remote, ridiculous dreams. The intended results are despair, despondency, excuse my English, and a collective death wish amidst this wasteland, which it also has created. Imperialism presents itself as the cure and demands that the dependent sing hymns of praises with the constant refrain, "Theft is holy indeed." This refrain sums up the new creed of the new colonial bargaining in many independent African states. The classes fighting against imperialism, even in its new colonial stage and form, have to confront this threat with a higher and more creative culture of resolute struggle. These classes have to wield even more firmly the weapons of the struggle contained in their culture. They have to speak the united language of struggle contained in each of their languages. They must discover their various tongues to sing the song a people united can never be defeated. The themes of these books is simple. It is taken from a poem by the Guyanese poet. So if you guys don't know about Guyana, Guyana is a country in South America. The poet Martin Carter, in which he sees ordinary men and women hungering and living in rooms without lights. All those men and women in South Africa, Namibia, Kenya, Zaire, which is today Congo, Ivory Coast, El Salvador, Chile, Philippines, North Korea, Indonesia, Grenada, Phantoms rich of the earth, who have declared loud and clear that they do not sleep to dream, but dream to change the world. I hope that some of the issues in this book will find echoing in your hearts and minds of the Pan Africanists. And I hope that this is going to give us possibilities of the triumph and victory and that we have been struggling for the past thousands of years in order for us to form that united Africa that we want to form. Hence the reason why I see a reform of the African Union being of the utmost importance, because if you don't reform these institutions, they are not fit for the future. I think we have to reform them. I think we have to reform the African map. I think we have to reform the political system in Africa to fit the purpose of what we want to do in Africa. If we want a strong Africa, I think we need to reform its whole concept and unravel the truth of our strength which is within our cultures, within our clans, within our, within our countries, kingdoms, uh, and other social hierarchies. We need to come back to that. We need to understand that we can make a change, but we may go through a lot of struggle to come to that. But it's never too late. And I think it's very important for us to come to that stage where uh, we can't anymore stand aside and look at things from the outside. We need to start looking from the inside and see where the actual problem is in order for us to actually find any type of solution to our to our future future success. And yeah, so that's where I want to stop for today. And like I said, it's a little bit of a recap of yesterday, as we didn't go through sorry, as we didn't go through Pan Africanism as we should have done yesterday. But yeah, we're going through it today. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked the show and this recap. And also, I hope you also can go into our Discord server and be a part of that Discord server. And if you liked this live stream that I just had, please go down, subscribe, hit the like button, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Thank you, everyone that participated, and power to the people. One love. Open basket. Close basket. Bye.